Well, hey folks, how's it going today? Hope you're all doing really good. Well, back in the shop. It is good to be back. I do apologize for the lapse in the videos lately. I don't know, I took some sort of virus or flu or something on this week, and it really knocked me down for about 3 days. No fun. So this is the first time I've been back out in the shop since I actually made this neck removal jig. So I just set it up on a guitar and just checking everything out. I've got a few things left to do. I need to put some padding around these ball thread, just so nothing scratches the guitar. It's really more so when you're installing the jig on the guitar. That's when bad things can happen. So I probably will put a little padding or some tape on this too, and just kind of, round these corners off or tape them off. Other than that, it fits quite well, and I think it's going to work really, really nice. I did promise I'd give you guys the dimensions on this, and I will do that after I remove this off the guitar. There's a few things I want to address first, though. First thing, like I said, I need to pad these up so they don't scratch the guitar. I've got good padding and good blocking here. It's right over the side walls of the guitar, which is perfect. That is the strongest point of the guitar. So the other thing I did was made a push screw here with kind of a little T handle on it, and I have this acorn nut on it. And what I've done here is taken a piece of aluminum plate. This is tempered aluminum, and I've drilled just a kind of a countersunk hole in it, so that way that acorn nut can ride in there and it won't walk side to side when you're pushing the heel up. So I made it a little big so I can possibly drill some different holes in different places depending on the heel width of the guitar. So I'm just going to leave it a little bit long like that, but I think for the most part it'll work perfect just like that. One thing you got to make sure of is that it doesn't stick in too far. You have to kind of measure that out. So this guitar does need a neck reset. I've done quite a bit of work to this. This belongs to a friend. We put new tuners on it. I fixed some of the braces inside, but as you can see, it's still pretty bad. We're at the pretty much all the saddle we have left here, so we can't really go down anymore. So we're going to reset the neck on this. I know this isn't a real expensive guitar, but it is very sentimental to my friend. And, it's just one of those things. It needs to be done. So we're going to pop the neck off it, reset it, and get it as good as we can. And hopefully that will last the rest of his lifetime. So, like I said, I'm going to pull this off now. I'm going to pad these up probably first while I have it right on there. One thing to keep in mind is, you want to leave, I guess if you just use tape, it doesn't matter. You can always peel it off if you need to shrink the jig for a smaller guitar or whatnot. But I'm going to try to get everything set on the top side at the same level, so that way I'll be adjusting, these bottom screws and just snug them up onto the body of the guitar, and that should keep everything quite even as far as where the jig rides. You don't want things crooked. Like I said, you kind of want this centered in the heel, what have you. Again, this is just kind of sitting on the heel right now, but you can also do away with this push bolt. I've seen guys just use the 2-threaded rod, pad across this member here, and just push it off that way. That does work, but you're going to be turning some on one side, some on the other. I think would have a tendency to, start to get teeter-totter in that way. So what I'm going to do is try to level it up this way. Maybe just measure down from underside to here so we get it level. And then I can just use this T-handle with the acorn nut, and that should push nice and straight. And we shouldn't have to do anything with the threaded rod at that point. So I'll get this padded up, and or at least I'll mark it out so I know where I'm going to do it. And we'll take it apart and we'll get the measurements for you. So that way if you guys want to build one of these yourself, you can. Okay guys, so as promised, I'm going to give you the dimensions to this. This is my version, so I'm sure there's a lot of different measurements out there, but this does work. I just want to point out what I actually did was when I cut this plate out. This is, by the way, let me see if I have a piece. Okay, so what I made mine with is, this is composite aluminum or aluminum laminate. This is a sheet of aluminum, and then it has a piece of ABS plastic in the middle, and then another sheet of aluminum. They use this for shelving, they use this for all kinds of different things in construction. It's very, very rigid and very strong. Now you could use plywood too. Either way is fine. I just happen to have some of that on hand, so I figured I'd use it. Okay, so here's the dimensions. Basically, you're looking at this orientated in the same way here. So let's get started. First of all, 20 inches wide, 12 inches in depth, okay? As you can see, I've got these all written in inches, 3 1/4 wide. This is where your fretboard extension will be, 6 1/2 deep. And these holes here are where the front 2 pieces of all thread go down through, okay? And the measurements here are to the center of the hole. You can see I have a line going through there. So 1 1/4 from the edge to the center of the hole, okay? And then to locate it in this direction, we come 2 1/2 inches from this edge back to the center of the hole this way. I should have put another mark there, but you get the idea. Okay, so here's another little thing. This is a 15-degree angle. So you come up 4 inches from the bottom, 15-degree angle from there, and pretty simple. Now these are your 3 holes, well, my 3 holes that I drilled here, as you can see. That's to have adjustment for the width of the guitar. Now, as you can see, there's some faint lines where I actually drew the body of the guitar onto this. There's the front shoulders up here. Here's the waist, and the lower bout would be down here. Not a bad idea to do that once you get this piece drawn, just so you have some sort of reference here. This will work on a dreadnought, though. I just want to add that. So 2 1/2 inches to the center of this hole from the edge, okay? Now, you know, that leaves you about 1/4 inch gap between the body of the guitar and the inside face of this all thread that'll be going through there. So that's, again, 2 1/2 inches from this face to the center of the hole is about 1/4 inch in between each one. You can make those anything you want. You could actually make this a slot and have it adjustable. I personally like having the hole. I drilled the holes pretty tight, so that way the jig kind of stays straight and doesn't want to slip and wander. If I do need to slot them, I can just knock the little pieces out in between them. For now, I'm going to leave mine the way it is. It seems like it's going to work just fine this way. So I guess that's pretty much it on the dimensions. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. I'll do my best. I think I've gone over all the layout here. One other thing I would like to add is this. Maybe one measurement I didn't give you guys was this distance right here from the edge of the plate to the face of this caul. Let's see what that is. It's, I'm going to square this up a little bit. So it's about, it's about 2 inches. And that will give you enough room. So you'll be out away from the front shoulders of the guitar quite a bit. No worries there. And, you know, I just used some regular piece. This is ash, actually. You could use any sort of hardwood, I would think would be fine. Put some cork padding on it so you don't ding things up. I also put some tape on these pieces of all thread, just so I don't scratch a guitar up when I'm installing this jig. Here's the other pieces that go to it as well. Now this is just a piece of like window track or something. I'm not even sure I got this, but again, all I did was drill 2 holes the same distance, you know, apart, so I can slide them down on the all thread. Now you want to make sure that that's centered, and when you drill this push screw, you want to center that as well. Now I drilled this hole, I tapped it, I also glued a nut down in there just for a little more security, and I put this acorn nut on the bottom. Well, it's actually on the top if it's pushing this way, right? So then I made this little piece of aluminum plate, which will let the acorn nut ride in there without walking side to side or wanting to push the jig around. Cork padding on that too. And then I took another piece of ash and put some cork padding on it. And again, you want those holes to be drilled the same distance apart as these 2 pieces of all thread. Now eventually I may drill some more holes, or I may slot this out. We'll see. Right now it seems to be okay where it is. If I need to, I can always do that. It's not an issue. You know, other than that, I did glue a couple washers onto this, which is kind of nice. It's just less stuff you got to handle and something that you won't forget. Now, one thing I did want to add, you know, like I said, it's not a bad idea to trace a guitar onto this. That way you know where to put these cauls. Now you want the cauls, I centered mine kind of on that contour line, so the pressure is getting pushed right on the perf line, or right on the side of the guitar where all the strength is. I think that's very, very important. That way you don't want to, you don't want to push on the top. You want to push on the strongest point you can. And you don't want it kind of teetering or having more hang in on the top or more hang out here. I think it's best to just center that and disperse the load, you know, evenly over that side wall of the guitar. So, you know, it took me an afternoon to do this. It's, you know, really not a big deal to build one. It just takes a little time. The dimensions are what kind of threw me. I didn't really have anything to follow, so I just kind of drew a pattern of a guitar onto this and went from there. But as you can see, it worked out well. I've had it on a guitar, and it seems to work just fine as far as, you know, the setup and fitment. So I think we're going to be good to go. So here you go. Here's one more shot of this, and it should work. Like I said, if you follow this, that's exactly what I did here. And it fit and worked nice. And again, you know, you don't have to do this with this, push bolt. You could remove the push bolt and just, take some up on the nut and, pad the center of it. So this aluminum or wood, or whatever you want to use here, it doesn't have to be metal. It could be a nice piece of hardwood. Maybe stand it up on edge so it's stronger and it doesn't want to bend. And, you can still push the heel up that way. I like this version better because, once I've got this level across the front shoulders of the guitar and it's not teeted like this, I'll get that level, and that way I know when I start to turn this push screw, it's going to push straight up and it's not going to walk off sideways. I don't want that because that will just bind the dovetail more than anything. So you want that nice straight push. Okay, folks, well, I hope this helps. And again, if you have any questions, feel free to ask. If you're just going to leave comments and beat me up as a human being, then, whatever. Either way, thanks again, folks, for watching. I really appreciate it, and we'll see you real soon. Be good. Okey doke.